The courtroom was a charged arena of conflicting narratives. At the center of the storm stood Darnell Williams, a black man in his late 30s, known in legal circles as a formidable civil rights attorney and policy advisor. Few knew that Darnell had been instrumental in drafting a landmark Supreme Court case on unlawful searches and seizures, one that had reshaped police conduct nationwide. Today, however, Darnell found himself not in a role of counsel, but as a defendant, accused of resisting a lawful traffic stop. The officer who pulled him over, Officer Mark Reynolds, had testified that Darnell had been uncooperative and hostile, providing justification for the stop and subsequent arrest. But Darnell knew the truth was far from what Reynolds claimed. The incident began on a cool autumn evening. Darnell was driving home from a community meeting when he was abruptly pulled over by Officer Reynolds. The stop seemed routine at first, but what followed felt deeply wrong. Reynolds accused Darnell of weaving across lanes, a claim Darnell disputed. When Reynolds ordered him out of the car, Darnell complied peacefully. The conflict began when Reynolds claimed Darnell resisted arrest without cause. At trial, Reynolds' version of events was delivered with unwavering confidence, painting Darnell as aggressive and belligerent. His testimony was meant to carry weight with the jury, but Darnell, composed and deliberate, stood to counter. "Your Honor," Darnell began, addressing the court with calm authority, "the facts as presented by Officer Reynolds are inconsistent with established legal precedent that I myself helped draft." The courtroom murmured in surprise. Darnell continued, "The case of Williams versus State, no relation, was a landmark decision authored by a coalition of civil rights advocates and legal experts, myself included. It clearly delineates the boundaries of lawful stops and the protections against unwarranted searches." He pulled out a copy of the case, turning to key passages. "This case states unequivocally that officers must have reasonable suspicion based on observable facts to initiate a traffic stop. Here Officer Reynolds claims erratic driving, yet there is no dash cam footage, no eyewitness corroboration, and my driving record is spotless. Protections. Understanding the law is not a tool for evasion," he said. "It is a safeguard for justice, ensuring that no one, officer or citizen, is above the law." As the trial progressed, Darnell's arguments gained traction. He called expert witnesses on police procedure and constitutional law who testified that Reynolds' actions were indeed questionable. Jurors listened intently as Darnell narrated how unlawful stops erode trust between communities and law enforcement. The turning point came when Darnell requested that the court review traffic camera footage from the area during the time of the stop. The video showed Darnell's car maintaining a steady course within lane markings. Faced with the evidence, Officer Reynolds' account faltered. The judge, after careful deliberation, ruled that the stop lacked reasonable suspicion and dismissed the charges against Darnell. Outside the courtroom, reporters swarmed. "How did it feel to face the officer who contradicted your own work?" a reporter asked. Darnell smiled wryly. "It was surreal, but truth and the law don't belong to one person, they belong to all of us. When those in power stray from those principles, it's our duty to hold them accountable." The case was hailed as a significant victory for civil rights advocates and a reminder that knowledge and courage could expose injustice. Officer Reynolds was placed under review for his conduct during the stop. For Darnell Williams, the trial was more than a personal vindication. It was a reaffirmation that the laws he helped craft were living protections, meant to be defended and upheld, no matter the circumstances.